Alright, just a quick tutorial on how to return the bar back to the front rack or back to the hip position. Here we have some jerks and returning back to the front rack. So you notice that I'll take a big breath before I begin the return, then I'll roll up on my toes, soften my knees, and simply drop the bar back on myself. So what this requires is a lot of confidence in bringing the bar back to the front rack, back in the appropriate position on the shoulders. If you're at all low, then you're going to end up hitting your collarbones, or if your elbows drop, you're going to hit your collarbone, it's going to roll off you. The breathing is really important to maintain that midline stability, especially when it gets heavy. So here for the snatch, this also applies when returning the barbell back to the hip for, say, repping out hang power snatches. Right, so same sort of thing, but I might exaggerate a little bit more about bringing my head out of the way. Since the bar's already closer to my head, I don't necessarily want to nick my head. So what you notice here is some slow motion. Take a good look at my feet. You can see when I roll forward a little bit, jump up on my toes, and then right back down. So as soon as the barbell starts moving is when I come up on my toes. This gives you an opportunity to study this a little bit, get to know the form, and notice that even though I transfer my weight forward, as soon as that barbell hits, it shifts my weight back again onto my heels so I'm stable once I land. This can be used both returning to the shoulder and going back to the hip, especially for snatches. So if you recall from the last bar return video that I did, we were talking about returning the bar back to the front rack or back to the hips from a single rep. In this video, we're going to talk about using that same technique to increase efficiency when cycling reps. So you notice here I got some singles. Now I'm going to actually cycle some push press and then some push jerk. So you'll notice that as soon as I release the tension of my arms and let that bar fall down onto me, that's the moment that I lift my heels up. And then I take the weight in my knees and it puts me right in the same position as the dip portion of a dip drive for the push press or the push jerk. Now this technique can also be used for hang power snatches. So you'll see here, I'm going to use the same return method, but I'm actually going to load my hips and knees just like the power position for the snatch, and I'm going to cycle the reps, staying balanced, keeping my bar path close. In fact, you can actually see me pulling my shirt up there. So this is how you increase efficiency when cycling reps. So this bar return technique can also be used to bring the bar back down to the shoulders from overhead squatting or snatch balances. As you can see here, I've got a couple of 135-pound snatch balance, and I'll use the same exact technique to bring it back down to my shoulders without crushing my spine. Just a little extra stress on that.